Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today about recruiting because I gave you a recruiting challenge to do where I challenged you to message 10 people and invite them to the Color Street opportunity. So I wanted to share how I was recruited, and I wanted to share my recruiting formula, okay? So here we go. Here's my story of how I was recruited. So I'm going to share the exact text that I was sent from my neighbor about the Color Street opportunity. So she texted me, and one morning I got a text and it said, "Hey Kelly, I've been introduced to a pretty cool opportunity and I'd love to share in case you would like it. Lately, I feel like a crazy direct sales lady, but I am motivated to get out of med school debt. It's a super fun, girly, inexpensive product that just launched. I seriously think it's going to be a lot like the lip sense craze, but it's in the founding stages, so there's lots of potential. Anyway, let me know if you'd like more info." So let me tell you a couple things. This girl that recruited me, I hadn't talked to her in a while because I had moved to a different area. And so I kind of got this text out of nowhere, which is totally fine because I knew her. She was in my neighborhood. We were friends, or more like neighbors. And so when I said yes, she actually called me on the phone and talked to me more about the Color Street opportunity, which I think was really important. And she kind of shared her story and why she was doing it, and then she answered all the questions I had about it. So after our phone conversation, that same day she texted me some more info, and the next day she followed up with me to see, what I was thinking, and that was the day I signed up. So it was literally like a 24-hour experience, pretty simple. And it was simply a text. And that is my challenge to you guys. I want to challenge you to text or message 10 people. So we're going to start with my recruiting formula, because this recruiting formula has worked in not only this Color Street business, but in when I did previous MLMs. And it obviously worked on me. I know it works because it worked on me. So basically, the recruiting formula, I'm going to break it down into 7 steps of: make a list, who to ask, text message, a compliment or your why, and a question, and then schedule a call. Call them on the phone to share your story and answer their questions. Send more info, and then follow up. And if they say no, you're going to build a relationship. So I'm going to talk about each of these things really quick. And I also have a Google Doc that breaks down all these steps for you. So the first one is to come up with a list of who to ask. Sometimes you're like, I don't know anyone, right? But we all know people. And so use the acronym FRANK, and that stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, which is who recruited me, and kids' friends, like your kids' friends' parents. And then, of course, don't forget your party hosts and your best customers, too, if you have those. Now, I want you to keep in mind, you guys, that only 10% of the people you talk to will sign up. So this is why it's super important that you're talking to a lot of people and that you're building relationships with a lot of people. And they don't have to be people necessarily that are local to you. Many of my stylists on my team I have never met. They are friends from social media. So, so keep that in mind. They don't have to be people in your area. So once you have your list of people to ask, I want you to find, list 5 people in each of those categories, in the Frank categories. Once you have your list, you're going to break it down and choose your 10 or more. I recommend more because, like I said, only 10% of those people are actually going to do something about it. And then you're going to text or message them with 3 things: a compliment, your why, and a question. Okay, so you're going to message them and give them a compliment, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order. The most important thing is to end on a question, okay? Because you want them to answer it, obviously. So, so let me give you some examples of your why. Like examples, I'm motivated to get out of debt, just like my upline said to me. I'm motivated to earn some Disneyland money. I'm motivated to supplement my hubby's income. I'm motivated to earn a new car and a trip to New York City. Holla! I'm motivated to earn some extra Christmas cash, or whatever it is. Whatever your why is, you need to have a why that's like a super short one-liner. Then here's some examples of compliments you could give within that message. You are seriously so fun. You're amazing at social media. You are so passionate, or I love hanging out with you. Whatever it is, okay? And then question examples that you want to end this text message on. And that's going to be, have you ever considered doing what I do? Or have you ever considered working from home? Have you ever considered getting paid to share these? Have you ever, what would you do with an extra $1,000 a month? So those are all questions that you can kind of mix and match into one text message. So let me give you an example of what this looks like with the compliment, the why, and the question in a text message. So here's one, and sometimes you don't necessarily always have to have the compliment or the why, but I think it's more effective. So here's an example that has a compliment and a question. It says, "Girl, I need more fun people like you on my team, haha. Have you ever considered getting paid to share these?" So something super simple. Guys, keep it simple. The next one is, "Not sure if you heard, but I just started a new business venture to help me earn some moolah for Disneyland." So there's your why. "And I'm super excited about it. I'm dying to have some friends do it with me because it's way more fun with friends. And I love hanging out with you. Have you ever considered working from home?" And then another one is, "Hey girl, did you see that I'm doing Color Street now? I swore I'd never do another MLM," which is literally what I said. "But I'm motivated to quit my job and work from home, so here I am, haha. Anywho, you are seriously so fun and I'd love to have you on my team. Have you ever considered doing this?" So something like that. Obviously, put your personality into it, you know, add some emojis, add your own slang, and personalize it. And then send that out to 10 people, okay? Now, actually 10 or more. I highly recommend it be 10 to 20, okay? Once they say yes, or if anyone asks you about the Color Street opportunity, like, "Hey, tell me more about this Color Street," it's super important to get them on the phone. Now, I know this generation is not big on the phone. I'm not a big phone talker, I'll be honest. I'm more of like a texter, but phone calls are super powerful with people that are considering this opportunity because you are able to answer all of their questions and concerns in one shot, right? So here's an example of how to schedule a phone call. This is typically what I say. In fact, I said this exact phrase today to a girl who was interested in Color Street. I said, "I'd be happy to chat with you and answer any questions you might have. Can you chat on the phone today at 11 a.m.? So I actually did have a phone conversation with a girl at 11 a.m. today. And so this is kind of how the phone conversations go. And you guys, don't be scared. Phone calls are so easy, and I'll tell you why. It's because you don't do most of the talking. They do. That's what a good salesperson does. A good salesperson does most of the listening and lets the prospect, do most of the talking. So 80% of the time you're going to be listening, and 20% of the time you'll be talking. So during this phone conversation, you'll probably want to share your story, just how you found Color Street, like your excitement, why you're doing it, that kind of thing. It can be super simple. And then the rest of the time, you just be like, "Hey, so what questions do you have?" And then you just wait. Like, you don't need to talk, right? We're women, we like to talk, right? But give it a pause, and allow them space to ask their questions. And I promise you, because I've done this several times with two different direct selling companies, they will talk. So I just say, all right, so what questions do you have? And they just start asking questions, and I'll answer briefly, and then I'm like, what other questions do you have? Or I'll just pause and wait, and typically they have more to say. So you want to let them do most of the talking, because often we're just talking ourselves into it, right? Often we just need a sounding board to talk things out, right? Since we're women. So it's really important that you spend most of the time listening. And then the great thing is there's like no pressure with this system. This is why I love this formula. I call this Kelly's recruiting formula, okay? And then you end the phone conversation by saying, all right, so let me send you some more information, and then I'll check in with you in a couple days and see if you have any more questions. You're not ending the phone call with like, okay, so you want to do it? Are you going to do it? Do it now. You know what I mean? Nothing like that, right? It's super like laid back, not salesy. So you're just going to end the conversation by telling them, it's important that you tell them that you're going to follow up, so they expect that. So you say, all right, I'm going to send you some more information. I'll check in with you in a couple days, see if you have any more questions. Then, of course, when the conversation's over, you can add them to our Considering Color Street group, or you can send them like the PDF of the comp plan, or a video. You know, we did a live Q&A. You can send them that video. Anything like that shares more about Color Street, so that they can kind of do a little research on their own without you hovering over them, right? And then finally, you're just going to follow up in a couple days and ask if they have any other questions. It's really important that you follow up. A lot of people miss this step. The fortune is in the follow-up, you guys. So be sure to follow up and just check in with them. Sometimes they forget, they get busy. So follow up and remind them. That is what my upline did. So follow up and just be like, hey, just checking in to see if you were able to check out some of those videos. Do you have any other questions? It's that simple. But I always end on a question because I want the conversation to stay open. So now if they say no, or if they ignore you, that's fine. Like, we're not trying to pressure them. We're not putting a gun to their head to join Color Street, because timing is everything, and sometimes the timing might not be right for them. I have found that typically it's a no for now. So if they say no, it's a no for now, and they'll join me later on in the year. So don't take it personally. Don't get all emotional about it. If they say no, however, it's important to continue forming a relationship. I don't know if you've ever heard this acronym of forming a relationship, but it's where you continue talking to them about non-Color Street topics, including their family, occupation, and recreation. And then eventually they'll want to hear your message. So that form stands for family, occupation, recreation, and then they'll want to hear your message. That's really what this whole business is all about. It's all about relationships. And so it's important to continue commenting on their posts, chatting with them in via text or Facebook Messenger or Instagram DM, whatever works for you. Or in person. In person's even better, or on the phone, right? So I wanted to share, I just had to share this with you guys since I gave you that challenge, and I want you to try it out because it is super effective. It worked on me, and it's worked for me. So I hope this helps you guys, and good luck. Bye, guys.